Hey everyone, Tony here. Hope you're doing well. It is Wednesday, November 21st. Hope your day is going well and that you're holding strong. I know it's been a really hard few weeks. I know with the prices going down, but we want those big swings that this crypto market has. We gotta take the low swings as well, guys. So I hope you have that perspective. And there's something I tweeted today that I definitely wanted to share with you guys, and that is knowledge is power, and it's very important to have perspective when it comes to investing. Example, Amazon stock in the late 90s, and this is all facts. You can go research this yourself. Crashed 95%. From 106, it was just a bit over $106, all-time high, then went down to $6. That's a big drop, right? And people wrote it off. There was a lot of FUD articles from major headlines from like the New York Times and so forth. And haters and FUDsters started calling it the end of Amazon. And today, however, Amazon's stock value is over $1,500, guys. Now, I know I'm making an analogy or comparison, and that's not to say everything in the crypto market will flow this way, but we understand the nature of the technology and the problem it solves, and this is a new asset class, and blockchain is here to stay. So once you understand the technology, then you can see the disruption that it's going to cause, as Amazon itself was a disruptor. So was Google, which is another big winner. And then you had many other tech stocks that came out of the 90s. So I hope you guys grasp that. And remember what I always tell you, go back and look at the charts. Look at Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, XRP. They were all once below a penny and grew over time, right? Higher lows for each year. And that's where you have to look at that data. That's actual facts and data, what the price point was years ago, and the mini bull runs that came along, and of course the big corrections. And obviously we had a very strong bear market this year, and with some Bitcoin Cash FUD and infighting and all of that. And I certainly think some manipulation happening with a lot of the big money buying over the counter, and that is not being accounted for on the exchanges. All of these things combined have really pushed the market down. Now, right now, funny enough, we are seeing some green from both an hourly and 24-hour perspective. Am I saying this is a rally or recovery? No. But the good part is it's good to see the bleeding has stopped a little bit, meaning it's not like all red, just keep going, right? So it's good to see like XRP is back to 45 cents. It had dropped to like 42. Bitcoin is at over 4,600. So, hopefully maybe things move sideways from here. Maybe they go up just a little bit because people are buying the dips. Who knows? Let's see what happens. Obviously, no one here has a crystal ball that we can predict the future, but we make educated guesses based on facts, things that we know that are coming and so forth. Now, there's something I do want to talk about, guys. And you know that XRP took the number 2 spot away from Ethereum, and it's been holding that strongly in this down market. And there's a big gap near 4 billion in market cap here. And could XRP, through this type of bear market, eventually move up past Bitcoin? It's a possibility, and here's my thought process behind it. I'm going to share facts. It was reported that this is happening. Bitcoin mining firm Giga declares bankruptcy, owning millions. Now, a lot of these mining companies are hurting big time. Why? The actual cost to mine one Bitcoin is around 7,000, and of course, Bitcoin itself is now under 5,000, right? Near 4,000. So that right away, the disparity is not profitable, right? And a lot of what they do when they mine, they sell some of that Bitcoin to pay their bills, because there's no other way to pay the bills, right? So if they're not getting, they're obviously operating at a loss here, and we can probably expect to see more of this. Now, unless they have like cheap or free electricity, like really cheap electricity, you can probably expect to see more of this. And it says that there's firm filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So what does that mean? If there's not enough miners to essentially, the miners, are running kind of the accounting, so to speak, of the transactions and verifications and so forth, and of course creating new Bitcoins. However, if you don't have as many of those, the network is going to slow down. There's going to be less transactions and less people using it, right? It's going to be very slow. And obviously, we saw even in the bull run last year how slow Bitcoin got and the bottleneck that took place and the high cost. And now you have a situation where less miners and less folks using it, and it's going to reduce its volume, right? And could XRP, if XRapid goes live, right? Could that volume kick in and push it past Bitcoin? Yeah. Now, I'm once again, I'm making an educated guess off of the facts. I'm not saying 100% certainty it's going to happen. I'm saying it could potentially happen. And because what we saw, how it moved past Ethereum. So once again, basing it off the facts, and something interesting I want to share with you guys. Now, many of you know Tom Lee. He's part of Fundstrat, and he's given predictions on Bitcoin and the crypto market. And obviously, he's been correcting his predictions because of what's going on in the market. And you know what? To be fair, like I said, he's making an educated guess, and so people shouldn't give him a lot of crap. And I give him credit that he had the balls to go on CNBC, after his multiple failed predictions, and still talk to these people on TV. You got to have balls to do that, because most people will probably duck and hide, say, no, I'm not coming up, right? So I give him credit for at least being able to come out and answer the questions. But he said something very interesting in this interview. And this has been a Bitcoin guy, like talking about Bitcoin. So shout out to Panda Ripple XRP here, who got the snippet of the video. And Thomas Lee, co-founder of Fundstrat Global, discussed the recent BTC fallout, and he mentioned XRP is a safe haven and has real use case. So let me play the clip here. Hopefully you guys can hear this clearly.
We always talk about Bitcoin because that is the biggest of the cryptos out there. Are there any other cryptos that are working while Bitcoin is not?
Well, I think one of the reasons...
Is there a safer haven than Bitcoin?
Yeah. Andrew, I think you kind of mentioned briefly that part of the sell-off in Bitcoin has been this contentious hard fork in Bitcoin Cash. One of the ways you see it is some of these larger alts have held up great, like XRP, relative to Bitcoin is actually starting to break out.
So they're calling an alt is an alt to Bitcoin?
Like an alternative to Bitcoin, yes. And XRP is a token that is really used for settlements, cross-border settlements, but it's held up great.
Do you have any?
So there you have it. I've never heard Tom Lee talk about XRP like that before. In fact, I don't even recall him talking about XRP. And don't get me wrong, a lot of these TV shows, they only talk about Bitcoin because that has the branding. Right away, you say Bitcoin, people know. If you say XRP or Litecoin or something, it may not really know that much. But remember I did a video, I think it was yesterday or maybe the day before. My title of my video was XRP being recognized. People have been starting to recognize, oh, wait, why isn't XRP crashing like the rest of the market? Even though it pulled back, guys. It pulled back right over the past 24 to 36 hours, but it's not down to 20 cents. It was in the 50 cents range, and now it's at 45, right? So this is a good, I think, educational process or educational moment for a lot of people where they were like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe all the FUD we've been hearing and people go around saying shitcoin and that, whatever, banker coin, and XRP was holding steady and, like I said, moved to the number 2 spot, even in a down market, which was very surprising. I even said I was very surprised. I thought personally it would happen when the volume kicks in on the XRapid protocol, which drives, leverages XRP. But surprisingly enough, it happened this way. So a guy like this is recognizing XRP. So I think that's a big sign. And this is what we need. Remember what we've been talking about, guys? Decoupling, right? Even for the past year. Decoupling. When can we decouple from Bitcoin? Because all the alts eventually move with Bitcoin, which is so annoying, right? But I think this may be, like I said, the silver lining, or the at least the good part of this down market is that there's some decoupling happening. A lot of the garbage may be getting kicked out, and it's like a house cleaning taking place. And part of that, what we're seeing is the SEC is doing some house cleaning. You guys recall the news I shared with you. They're going out and calling out these ICOs and saying, hey, you're a security, fix it or you're done. And we've seen many of them have done that. Today, yesterday, they tweeted the following, our guide to ICOs, and they have a full guide here. I mean, look at this page. This is on sec.gov. ICO, 5 things you need to know about ICOs, and they talk about all the respective things and what you need to do, and just talks about the whole process. Here's what you need to abide by. And this is what we've been waiting for. And we need more of it, of course, but this is a move in the right direction. And these are the infrastructure things that I've been talking about, like infrastructure is being built. Government is doing their part. The big players, TD Ameritrade, Fidelity, Bakkt, and so forth, everyone's setting up their services, getting their patents, getting their custodian services up and running in this bear market all year, and even more so now. And the SEC, if you notice over the past 2 months, is moving faster than they have ever before. And you saw how many news items started coming out, and I believe it's because a Bitcoin ETF is around the corner. There's a deadline set for December 29th. I don't think they're going to do it then. I think the next deadline, which is in February, they will. And that is why I personally feel the Bakkt launch was pushed back. This is all being coordinated this way. It makes sense. For example, if I was launching a business, right, and my business is dependent, I should put it this way. If you're launching a product or a service, you don't want to do it in a market where the sentiment is very negative or it's down. People are, disappointed. That's not a good time to launch your service, right? Because especially when you're dependent upon the investors and you're dependent upon people to have a positive view of the market to invest. So I personally think, and I talked a bit about this in my video yesterday, that this is why Bakkt pushed back. And we'll see, what happens, guys. And there is a update on Bakkt that I really wanted to show you guys, and I hope I have it here. Yes. So right here, and I have to give credit to the CEO and chairman of ICE Markets and Kelly Loeffler, CEO of Bakkt. They are joining the Consensus Invest, which is CoinDesk's crypto conference they have yearly. They are going to be joining them, and they said, join us to hear more about markets, evolution, and potential for digital assets. I give them credit for, even after this disappointing news, they are not running and hiding somewhere. They're coming out being transparent. I showed you guys the blog post yesterday, and they're actually going to be engaging with folks, because this is the second time they delayed it, right? It was supposed to be November this month, and then they pushed it back to December 12th, and now it's January 24th. So I give them credit for at least their transparency. That's a good sign, because that's what we need. We need more transparency, more honesty. Like, hey, we're not launching, but we're not hiding. You want to talk to us? Let's talk, right? That's a good sign. So it looks like we'll probably see a rally in Q1 of 2019. Just Bakkt is pushed back. TD Ameritrade, Fidelity in 2019. SEC, many guys like Mike Novogratz and so forth are saying they're going to approve one of the Bitcoin ETFs, or possibly two. Maybe it's the Van Eck or the CBOE, and I think that could spark the bull run. But as always, it's an educated guess I'm making here. I'm not saying this will happen with 100% certainty. I could be wrong. I don't have a crystal ball. You don't have a crystal ball. But at least we're basing our thoughts here, or our perspective, on facts. That here's the timeline. Here's what's happening based on what we know. So I hope you guys grasp that. And this is how it is in investing. If you invest in something, if you invest in Apple, what is Apple doing? Where are they expanding to? What type of phone are they building next? What's the next product they're launching, right? You're looking at these type of things, and you can make some minor speculations, not over speculate, because where you go with ridiculous price points and all that. So just want to share my perspective and my thought process on this, but let you guys know that, at least these people are not running and hiding, and they're being transparent. And this is November 27th, so it's next week. So hopefully we hear something good from Consensus. Let's see what they say in more details in public to folks. Now on to the next news here. This is very interesting. This is very interesting. Nearly 500 crypto startups bank at Silvergate. So Silvergate's a bank, and they are filing an IPO, which is very surprising. The California-based parent of Silvergate Bank has detailed its relationships with cryptocurrency industry as part of its IPO filing with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Look at the timing of when they're doing this. This is interesting, guys. Touting itself as the banking platform for innovators in its S1 prospectus, filed with the SEC on November 16th, Silvergate Capital disclosed that the bank now serves 483 crypto clients with a combined $1.7 billion in non-interest-bearing deposits as of Q3 2018. The number of clients is up from 114 on September 30th, 2017, making it an increase of 323%. So this is no surprise. What have we been talking about? New exchanges popping up, new crypto services, right? Everyone with different, some with custody, some with payment solutions, credit cards, some with different plugins, some with, like I said, exchanges. So this market is growing. It's an emerging market. It's a new asset class. And I hope you guys don't miss what's happening, the growth that took place over this year. Not the price, but the growth of the market infrastructure. This is why I've been harping and repeating infrastructure, so you understand the build out is happening, and don't focus on the price right now. You got to look long term, and that's what TD Ameritrade and Fidelity and the folks at Bakkt and the New York Stock Exchange are looking at. They're looking long term, and that's the way you got to think as well. That's how big money thinks. They're not so involved in the prison. They're not prisoners of the moment. Its primarily customers are crypto exchanges with 793 million in deposits. Institutional investors such as hedge funds and VC funds taking a focus on crypto assets with $573 million in deposits, and other firms including new protocol developers and miners with 227 million in deposits. Here's a quote. The majority of our funding comes from non-interest-bearing deposits associated with clients in the digital currency industry, Silvergate states, adding that unique source of funding offers an advantage over traditional financial institutions. Those deposits are invested into interest-earning deposits at other banks and investment securities, as well as into lending opportunities that provide attractive risk-adjusted returns. So see what's been happening here, guys, behind the scenes. And for its IPO, the bank is seeking to raise $50 million and aims, listen to this, to list on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol SI. Another quote, we intend to continue focusing on our digital currency initiative as a core of our future strategy and direction. So we have a cryptocurrency, well, I shouldn't say cryptocurrency. We have a bank that provides banking to cryptocurrency services. That includes hedge funds, VC firms, startups, crypto exchanges, and so forth. And even in a down market, they are looking to they filed their IPO with the SEC. And I want to think about the timing of that. Yeah, 2019 is going to be big, guys, because as I've been saying, TD Ameritrade, Bakkt, Fidelity, all these guys are going to need return on their investments. And that's why I said there's going to be mass marketing that's coming in 2019. And the fact that these people are doing their IPO right now, even though crypto is taking a massive beating, there's headlines of negative things coming, of like doom and gloom, I should say, like your CNBC fast money, crypto is dying, crypto is crashing, all that. Well, the fact that they've just filed with the SEC, like, here's our IPO that we want to do, and the majority of our clients are crypto clients, they're not looking at right now. They're looking at bigger picture. They're looking at the new economy that's coming, the token economy, the growth of crypto as an asset class, and the money funneling from stocks and other assets into crypto. Blockchain being a revolutionary technology is going to disrupt many industries. It's going to change the world the same way the internet did. And I hope you guys see it too. You got to put your business thinking cap on here, right? Because sometimes we can get so focused on our token and our coin and miss the bigger picture, which, you know, will give you that confidence, will give you that overarching theme or principles of what's happening here. So I hope you grasp that, and this is pretty significant that they're, once again, filing an IPO with the SEC, and the majority of their clients are or crypto startups. So on to the next news here. Shout out to Leonidas. Novadax, a Brazilian crypto exchange here, has launched XRP, whatever the Brazilian local fiat is, trading on November 16th. So the reason why I share this with you guys, and you know, Bitcoin is on like every goddamn exchange, and so is Ethereum, right? And Litecoin has a lot of adoption too, and that goes back to since last year. The reason why I'm sharing this with you, it's showing the recognition that people recognizing XRP being number 2 as it is right now. It was number 3 for the most of the year. That it has arrived to that status of recognition that you know, this is a real utility token with a big use case, and it's being listed on a lot of exchanges with fiat pairing, and some exchanges using it as a base currency. Shout out to C3 Nick here. He caught this. Coinbase Custody has updated the XRP logo to display the correct one. They had an old Ripple logo. I said it before. XRP doesn't need Coinbase. Coinbase needs XRP, and they will list it eventually because they will be losing out on so much money. It's not going to be funny, especially when that next bull run starts. Also, Coinfield Exchange, which is based in Canada, they said here, invite friends and earn 10 free XRP plus 25% on all commissions in real time. So if you guys want to refer some of your friends or whoever, you can earn some XRP. Just want to let you guys know that, you know, in any way you can earn and get free crypto, why not? So guys, what do you think about this news? As I stated, I think possibly XRP could surpass Bitcoin, especially with the whole mining fiasco and all that's going on, and the price right now is not profitable to mine. And you know, if the XRapid volume kicks in, it could happen, man. It could happen. Now, it all depends how much volume is being moved on XRapid, because Ripple said 3 companies would be going live. And let's wait to hear some official word that they are officially live. And then Brad Garlinghouse said dozens, so next year. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I don't know how long this bear market's going to last. I'm thinking, just given the pushback of Bakkt and the SEC to decide in February, we could see something Q1, late January into February. Just my personal opinion and educated guess. This is super interesting. XRP getting a shout out here from Fundstrat Global Tom Lee. The SEC making moves, and this is a good sign because they're going to put all the regulations in place before they release the approval for that ETF. And the folks at Bakkt are not running and hiding. They're at least being transparent. They're going to be at the Consensus Invest conference next week. And this is big news here with Silvergate. I think this is really, really big. Now, the market's probably not going to react, and it's probably going to, you know, a lot of people are not really going to understand how significant this is. But, you know, those of you who understand IPOs and there's a bank itself, which is the go-to for many crypto companies, it's going to be doing the IPO. I mean, I think that's pretty significant, guys. So leave your thoughts and comments below. Thumbs up if you like this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Quick heads up. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a video tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, so I want to spend time with my family. As many of you in America, if you live in America, will be doing as well. But I'll see. You know, maybe there's some interesting news and I get a break, but just wanted to give you guys heads up. And like I said, it's good to see some green in this market, so that the bleeding has stopped. But who knows if this can hold up, right? We have to see how this plays out. We got to give it time. But anyway, guys, what do you think? Leave your thoughts and comments below. Thumbs up, like I said. If you like this video, please subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. And thank you for your support, and I will talk to you guys later.